Alrighty, guys, we're back for Mono Green Aggro, and this is a Murders at Karlov Manor Standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. It's about time. I played some Mono Green Aggro, huh? We do got some new cards packed in here, like Axebane Ferox as a 2 of, a 4 mana, 4/4, a Death Touch, Haste, and Ward. Collect Evidence 4. Now, to collect Evidence 4, exile cards with total mana value 4 or greater from your graveyard. Early enough in the game, that could be legitimately difficult for the opponent. Any extra ward cost on this would go the extra mile, huh? But it's mainly in here because it has haste. Now, more new cards packed in. We have Archdruid's Charm. This is a 3 mana triple green. Instant speed. You get to choose one of these. Search your library for a creature or land card and reveal it. Put it onto the battlefield tapped if it's a land card. Otherwise, you put it into your hand, then shuffle. Okay, that seems decent. Now, or you can choose put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. Yep, a little bit of removal in green goes the extra mile. Then we also have here at the bottom, you could choose this one, exile target artifact or enchantment. And there's a bunch of terrific artifacts and enchantments that we just wouldn't mind exiling with Archdruid's Charm at all. Seems like a pretty powerful card, guys. It really does. More new cards, also rocking the Sharp-Eyed Rookie. This is a 2 mana, 2/2, rocking that Vigilance. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, if its power is greater than Sharp-Eyed Rookie's power, or its toughness is greater than Sharp-Eyed Rookie's toughness, put a +1/+1 counter on Sharp-Eyed Rookie and investigate as well. So a potential way to restock our hand in mono green. I don't mind that one bit, huh? Now, being a 2/2 Vigilance means simple things like Loamspeaker having that toughness 3 can buff this to a 3/3 Vigilance, which is pretty good. And then like our top end here with the Ferox being a 4/4, of course, that would buff it up to that 4/4 as well. But then also here on the top end, rocking the Ulvenwald Oddity too. 4 mana, 4/4, trample, haste, beautiful. There's a reason we got 4 of these and not 4 of the Ferox. There's a bunch of chump blockers floating around standard all the time. So trampling on through is going to be necessary. Also, Oddity has that bottom ability. Not going to go over it right now. It's the same concept as Polukranos Reborn. This is a 3 mana, triple green up there. 4/5 reach. Love those stats. It's got that bottom transform ability that I'm just not going to go over right now, as we don't see the transforms on these very often. But being a 4/5, this is also a way if like Sharp-Eyed Rookie is a 4/4, being a 4/5, comes down, buffs the Sharp-Eyed Rookie to a 5/5. That is actually kind of ridiculous, huh? More ways to buff up that Sharp-Eyed Rookie easily, like Bloated Contaminator here. 3 mana, 4/4, rocking that trample. It has Toxic 1, and for some reason it has another ability packed on here, and it deals combat damage to a player, Proliferate. And when you're proliferating, when you have cards that have the extra counters on it, like the Sharp-Eyed Rookie, that sounds really good. Yeah, we're not really worrying about proliferating the Toxic, but I suppose you never know if you might accidentally win with Toxic against certain builds, maybe like life gain builds or something, but I think we're going to be pushing a lot of damage all the time. This is not a poison deck by any means, but with all these extra ways to get counters, like the Archdruid's Charm, or the counters on the Sharp-Eyed Rookie, but then also we have cards like Evolving Adaptive in here too, enters with that oil counter and essentially has the exact same ability as the Sharp-Eyed Rookie, except for +1/+1 counters, it's actually just oil counters instead. But of course, it still works with that proliferate very nicely. Then same concept with Ascendant Packleader too. 1 mana, 2/1. I always say this, but that's all I need to play with a card, you know what I mean? But when it enters the battlefield, it enters with a +1/+1 counter if you control a permanent with mana value 4 or greater. Okay, well, I mean, that's 6 cards in here, and all 6 of those cards are very powerful. So that's good, just getting an extra counter easily. But then also whenever you cast a spell with mana value 4 or greater, you put a +1/+1 counter on this as well. So any extra counters onto that, of course, the proliferate on the Contaminator are going to go that extra mile. We also have more ways to proliferate, like Cankerbloom. This is a 2 mana, 3/2. You can pay 1, sack it, choose one of these. You can destroy target artifact, destroy target enchantment, or you can just proliferate. Yeah, great utility piece, man. I like this one. Okay, we got more new cards that I totally forgot to go over here. Hard-hitting question. This is a 1 mana sorcery speed, unfortunately, but probably thank goodness. If this was instant speed, I think this would be very powerful. I actually still think it's relatively powerful at sorcery speed. Anyways, 1 mana. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. Nice. So instead of fighting a creature, you're just straight up dealing that damage. So instead of trading one of your valuable creatures, you're just destroying one of your opponent's creatures. That's the hope with this. Or planeswalker too, right? That's important. Especially when I feel like I see a lot of Lilianas recently. But not just recently, like Wandering Emperor is everywhere all the time. So hitting planeswalkers is important, bro. We do have more ways to fight in here. Feral Encounter as a 2-up. It's a 2-mana sorcery, rocking those double green up there. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may exile a creature card from among them. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. You may cast the exiled card this turn. At the beginning of your next combat phase, this turn, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to up to 1 target creature you don't control. So this one can't target planeswalkers, but what this does do is help us cast some of our 1-mana cards off the top. Or maybe you ended up flooding out and it's turn 5, you have 5 mana on the board already, and you go Feral Encounter. Now you can search for any of your 3-mana cards off of this, any of your 2-mana creatures, or any of your 1-mana creatures. So you essentially get extra card draw is what we'll call it with the Feral Encounter. Okay, guys, is that everything? No, we have a little bit of protection packed in with a 1 of Gaia's Gift. This could totally be just your card of choice. I was going to say protection of choice, but I know some people don't really like playing with protection spells anyways. Could totally be your card of choice, maybe like a second Cankerbloom or a 3rd hard-hitting question. Maybe Feral Encounter happens to be really good today too. Maybe we'll talk more about that in the final thoughts. However, Gaia's Gift really does a thing for me whenever I play it. And then another way to put counters onto our creatures when we have different ways to proliferate like Contaminator and Cankerbloom, it kind of just feels like it's going to be good. And that reach comes into play often too. Even though like Polukranos already has reach, you never know when you end up using that reach as a surprise to take out like a Godric Swing or something crazy like that. So okay, 23 total mana, 22 of them being Forest, 1 of them being a Who Endures. Hopefully 23 is totally fine. A little bit of ramp on the Loamspeaker too. Like if you look at the curve, you're kind of thinking like, oh, this would probably be a 24 mana deck. But at the same time, I got this vibe that I was going to flood out all the time with 24. So I dropped it to 23. But maybe we'll talk more about that in the final thoughts too, huh? Some honorable mentions. Audacity almost made the cut as a couple of. Beast Caller feels a little odd not having this in here, but then when you look at the build again, between the charm, the encounter, the hard-hitting question, and the gift, I mean, yeah, we definitely have a ton of creatures. How many? 29 creatures still. I don't know. I just kind of feel like Sharp-Eyed Rookie is going to be a little better, especially since we pair that with the clues. So just more ways to potentially restock our hand in mono green. Seems like it should be good, but hey, honorable mentions for a good reason, bro. And then Sentinel of the Nameless City almost made the cut too. As a matter of fact, if, for example, you have Sentinel of the Nameless City, but you don't have like a Polukranos, then I would say don't even bother crafting the Polukranos. You could probably just go up a couple Sentinels and be pretty happy. It doesn't necessarily do the same thing, but it's still a very powerful creature, and a 3/4 Vigilance goes a long way. I just brought up like Wandering Emperor being a pain in the butt, but then also the map tokens can plug extra counters onto your creatures too, which works with all the Proliferate. Woo! Okay, guys, enough rambling, huh? Let's go ahead, take this into some ranked and see how we do. Okay, we'll see if we can get right into that first game here. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? Mono Green has struggled, and it's struggled for a while. And a lot of the most successful green builds have kind of slid into that mid-range. And for this one, I really wanted to focus on aggression. And so, while I think it's going to be okay, we can't expect too much here, unfortunately. We go first. This is totally fine. Now, I say we can't expect too much, but every time I say that, the deck ends up, like, blowing us away. So we'll see, huh? Oh, Conscript. Okay. Well, Loamspeaker's totally fine. Every time I play with a Loamspeaker too, there's so many instances where that 3/3 land. Cut down right away from the opponent. Every time we play with Loamspeaker, that 3/3 land like always surprises us with how often you can actually just win the game when you power up a land and stuff. Okay, Sharp-Eyed Rookie. Well, at this point, if we get Polukranos down, we just have to anticipate that they drop a Go for the Throat on it, right? We go Sharp-Eyed Rookie, hard-hitting question. The Cult Conscript can easily come back. We keep Archdruid's Charm open. Now, it's probably get the Reborn down and hope that they don't have removal, but I mean, it's probably going to be removal, right? Even if it's not a Go for the Throat, when they're rocking the Orzhov colors, it could be a Get Lost or anything else like that. Undead Butler. This might survive, but they have terrific chump blockers for now. Oh, Rubble Belt. Insidious Roots. Oh no, guys, we've been seeing a lot of Insidious Roots, huh? So Sharp-Eyed Rookie. Getting a couple of those down, trying to go wide here doesn't seem that terrific. We want to keep Archdruid's Dream to make sure we can exile the Insidious Roots when it comes time. Removal on like Butler and stuff doesn't seem great. My apologies, opponent. Like, for some reason, there are so many options for us right now. I want to keep hard-hitting question for a better creature. They just end up blocking here, no trample. But it's probably double Sharp-Eyed Rookie and hope we see a creature off the top. Right? So we swing. And they chump. Oh, they want to wait. They're going to take the 4. Down to 13. That's pretty good for us, man. So Sharp-Eyed Rookie. Who Endures maybe we keep back too. Maybe, actually. Maybe we should. No, I'm going to get the Sharp-Eyed Rookie down, and let's hope we don't end up regretting that. There are plenty of moments where they drop Insidious Roots and we get rid of it, and then they drop the second Insidious Roots. No worries, man. Then they drop the third Insidious Roots, and by the end of the match they have 8 Insidious Roots. Actually, you know what? Okay, Cosmic Rebirth, cool on the roots. Very cool. Okay, so they get the plant, just 1 plant for the turn, luckily. So we could go Archdruid's Charm to find a creature if we think we can try to push this damage through. Unfortunately, they only have 2 cards remaining in hand. Search your library for a creature card, put it into your hand. We grab a 2-mana card that can buff the rookie, and then we full swing and we're happy about it, and the rookie dies to the first conscript, then they could potentially bring it back next turn. If we don't take care of the Insidious Roots, we're probably in trouble. So that's what we do. Exile target. We do it on our turn so they don't have anything fancy instant speed to like pop off with that. Hard-hitting question. Take care of the big conscript so we have a better swing here. And then see where they block with the Reborn and keep the rookies back. Because this trade is really bad for us. If they like a triple block doesn't take care of the Polukranos now. Down to 12. Okay, not bad. So the Rebirth also gained them 3 life. Kind of a ridiculous card if you think about it, with how much value it could provide. Packleader does not buff the Sharp-Eyed Rookies. And at this point in the game too, we're really relying on that Investigate to restock our hand as well. Well, they don't know what's in hand. They still have terrific trades, so we're just going to swing, see what happens. I think they might want to start chumping here. Okay, they are going to take that first chump. They are going to be able to bring the conscript back. Seed of the Empire. Okay, that's actually pretty rough, huh? Was it still worth the swing? Probably. I don't think we'd want to hold back there necessarily, because at any point, if it wasn't Seed of the Empire, it could just be more spot removal too. So because a creature died over there, they got that conscript back. They only have 1 card. We're both fizzling out. Oh crap, Cosmic Rebirth was that 1 card though. Again, it's a good amount of value, dude. And then the Butler mills them too. Bloated Contaminator, there we go. Now we're talking. We're in a top deck war with the opponent, and that was the top deck we definitely wanted to see. Now we have the draw on the clue. Start restocking our hand. They do still have great double blocks here. So if we hold back one more turn, what are the odds that they see something really good? Great double blocks. Trades into everything. Conscript comes back. One of the conscripts comes back. All right. I think it's a full swing, unfortunately, guys. We are going to put one card into our hand. We have another card draw next turn, too, but with Contaminator on the board. Like I said, great double blocks for the opponent, but if they end up losing all of their cards here, they're going to be able to bring one conscript back. There's a double block. They lose both of those. They're going to trade into that. They're going to chump there. Okay. This is just, like, not bad for us, I'd say, right? We lose one rookie. They lose all their creatures, but they do get the one conscript back. We're going to put one card in hand. They go Undead Butler. Oh, they're going to grab a card to put into their hand, too. It's going to be a conscript. And at that point, we draw, actually, never mind. This could be the type of build that runs Liliana. We want to do this at the end of their turn. Okay, conscript comes back tapped. Anyone's game, dude. I truly believe that. I think it's leaning towards us a little bit, but I truly believe that this could be anyone's game. See what they see on top. Insidious Roots. Oh, crap, dude. Okay. Well, thank goodness. Well, I mean, conscript number 1 blocks, and then they... Actually, that'll be a skeleton. So they won't be able to bring it back yet. So we still have a terrific swing. Okay, sweet. Let's get that card draw. Hard-hitting question. Adaptive. We start with the draw here. Here we see. Because we could see a 3-mana thing. Feral Encounter, we could find a 1-drop in the top 5. We already have a 1-drop in hand, but being able to just see... Being able to just see more is probably fine. Oh, crap. Okay, well, we can't play any of those. I say we decline, right? No reason to exile any of those. And then the damage comes through. And while we had the extra mana, this was probably fine to do. Swing for 7. We get that proliferate. Submit. Do you guys suppose this is a board wipe style deck? Hopefully not. I'm going to get that adaptive down. Yeah, they just like draw a Sunfall. Sunfall would be surprising in a deck that cares about graveyard. It would be like Depopulate or something. GG opponent. Very nice. Yeah, we are seeing a lot of Insidious Roots, and I can see why. It's a very fun card, and it looks like a very fun build around, so cool, man. Our deck felt fine enough. Got a little scary somewhere in there, but then once we were able to restock our hand and everything too, and we were able to effectively take their chump blocker away there as well, that was pretty good. And then if they were going to get the Cult Conscript back that turn somehow, I don't know how they would have done it, but if they were, it still comes out tapped anyways. We still had removal for the other one that they were planning to chump with too. Even if they were going to regenerate some chump blockers, our trampling creature was eventually going to get there as well. Okay. Yes. I believe this is totally fine. We definitely want to see our 3rd in the next couple turns. And eventually our 4th, but I don't think we need to hit our 4th right on time. Kumano. I changed my mind. We want to hit our 4th land right on time. Okay, there's our 3rd. All right. Get that swing. Cankerbloom. Right into Bloated Contaminator is pretty good, man. Eldon can't block, but we're going to be taking some serious damage the next couple turns here. I'm going to take it. I think we can outpace red right now. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. I don't know why I played that before combat. They were tapped out, so it didn't really matter. But there are a lot of things in this deck that do actually care to be played before combat as it affects combat. For example, next turn, the Oddity. I think they're going to swing and we're going to have lethal damage. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 14 is what we'll have. Wait, I'm not counting wrong, right? No, I'm not. Big damage, bro. Outpacing mono red. Thank goodness we went first there. Thank goodness, dude. If we didn't go first and that was their 4th turn, I think that would have been theirs. Or we would have had to set up a defense somehow, and we did have that hard-hitting question that could have potentially taken care of that Godric too, so... Look at this, guys. I have one lonely quest where I need to play a black or a red spell, and here I am playing some mono green. Oh my goodness, guys. That's okay. I still have one more video to record for the day, so that should get the quest done then. Dude, so far so good. 2 wins in a row, and the deck actually feels relatively solid. You see, it's because I said we can't expect too much, right? So we'll see if we can keep the ball rolling and keep up the good pace. Okay. I don't mind this. I think we have so many creatures to draw into that we're totally fine to keep a hand like this. And if we like don't end up seeing too many creatures, then Archdruid's Charm can help us find some stuff to plug into our hand at instant speed as well. Second hard-hitting question, is it worth doing that just to get a swing for 2? Probably not, but there's 2 of them, and all of these are fight spells, and we have nothing else to do for the turn. All right. It's fine. It's fine. I'm one of those players. I like to do something every turn, and it feels super awkward when I don't. Although recently we've been doing our dandiest to slow down a little bit and take our time. And it's been working out quite nicely, actually. So Archdruid's Charm... Would a counter take care of the Scrap Gorger means taking care of their ramp, but Bloated Contaminator is really good too. Actually, I think taking care of their ramp might be a little bit better here, guys. Right? Because we get another swing through. We have that counter on the Packleader already too, so now we have Bloated Contaminator's Proliferate to threaten them with. 3rd mana. Insidious Roots? Really? Okay. It is, in fact, an Insidious Root stack. And so, like, the Dream Thief is going to be a problem. Contaminator for the turn. Let's see if they end up jumping here. I think they take the 3. And we should keep hard-hitting question. Sorcery speed, unfortunately, so we won't have it open. Insidious Roots is going to be a problem in no time, dude. So let's see. Hopefully they don't absolutely pop off for the turn or something. I just think the hard-hitting question is going to have a lot better targets over the Death Bonnet Sprout. The second Roots comes down. Another Dream Thief comes down. These Roots are setting up for next turn. We do not have much time before they take over the board at this point, as they're obviously going to try to go for the chump block here, right? If we double down on removal, we'll get a couple Roots back next turn. Doubling down on removal means no Roots will get taken out. Let's drop the thinking. I want to take a second here. Sharp-Eyed Rookie was a pretty good draw. But we need to... I feel that, opponent. We need to make sure that we have just an absolutely threatening board state. Like, Archdruid's Charm could take out one of the Roots, but since they have 2 of them, they might double block the Packleader, which means if we go hard-hitting question, you into Bonnet, and they would love to block with the Dream Thief anyways. Well, maybe we should have taken out the Dream Thief then. They don't know we're going to exile one of the Roots is the thing. So Trample might be getting through here. We're going to go for the block. We're going to get that Proliferate. They're banking on getting 2 plants is the thing. However, we're going to be doing this right now. So they're only going to get that one plant. So our trample should still be relatively effective there too. So we got rid of both of their creatures, and we got rid of a little bit of their explosive power. Okay, good news, guys. It's not going to be a third Roots. It is going to be another Death Bonnet Sprout, though. More land off the top isn't terrific. They don't know what's in hand. We're going to go for that full swing for sure. We don't know what's in their hand either. They still have one over here. Go for the chump. Okay. Down to 3. We do take that Proliferate. Play everything? Yeah, play everything. All right. Death Bonnet Sprout flips into Death Bonnet Hulk. And if they go wide enough here... Okay, it's not a third Roots. Okay. I'm sitting here sweating, dude, because they could easily play that, get a couple plants down, then they have the block into Contaminator successfully. GG opponent. We went wide enough, and their last 2 mana wasn't removal. Dude. Nice. Holy cow. Well, hopefully the next build isn't an Insidious Roots deck, but I suppose it very well could be, huh? I like a ton of them. A ton of Roots recently. More Roots than Mono Red. And I think that says something about how fun that card is to actually build around, right? Everyone trying out different things. We've seen Golgari. We've seen Sultai. We've seen whatever the white, black, green combination is that I could never remember for some reason. It might be like my least played combination, and maybe that's why. Although we've had some fun builds with that color combo in the past. All right. All right. Opponent goes first. I don't think this is a bad hand. We definitely want to see some of our big chunky 3-drops when it comes time. Adaptive first, as it has the potential to just buff a little further if we do curve out nicely. That's got to be open spot removal, right? Well, we still stick to the plan. Nothing from the opponent's first 2 turns, guys. It's going to be Stomper. Okay. Now it makes a little sense as to why there's nothing for the first 2 turns. Oh, a mountain. Okay, we're up against some Naya. So let's see. Arm is available. We could search for a creature. Might be best to just keep the charm open, huh? Overplaying more. Keep charm open. It doesn't take care of Stomper, but like we don't know what they're gonna do. And this being at instant speed is actually kind of incredible, man. It's gonna be Archangel of Wrath maxed out. So Gaia's Gift is probably gonna have to come down here. Yeah, we should protect this. I was gonna say like Archdruid's Charm, but like that gets rid of their life gain too. Now that it has the counter, we can successfully do that damage with the charm. Now this is deals damage, so it's not a fight spell. We're gonna do that. Rookie onto Archangel. So again, no lifelink here. Swinging for 6, which is pretty good. At this point in the match, instead of the adaptive, no, I'll get the adaptive down. Since Packleader can buff the second adaptive too, our biggest fear is a Sunfall, but at this point in the build, hey, dude, holy cow. We're getting there, guys. 4 wins in a row so far. So if we played around a Sunfall and we lost our 2 creatures and we still only had 2 1-mana cards in hand, then no matter what, Sunfall hitting 2 creatures versus 3 creatures, no matter what, we were going to be in trouble after that. And so like just getting it down and threatening lethal when we buff the adaptive just felt much better than actually playing it out safely, if that makes sense, right? Because at that point, they pass it back. If it's not a Sunfall, Packleader comes down, we have 8 on the board. They still needed some form of spot removal, which it appeared that they didn't have anything. So very nice. We're totally doing a thing. Feels good. Let's keep going. So far, it feels like it's been pretty difficult to buff the Sharp-Eyed Rookie, right? Seems like it's been tough, but we do have so many 3s and 4s that buff it well. I mean, on that note, even our 2-mana Loamspeakers buffs it too, at least for the first time, so... Opponent goes first. Oh, yeah, this is definitely the worst hand of the evening, right? A very slow setup. Been doing so good, though. With them going first, that's concerning. Let's give it a shot. Since we've been doing so good, I say we push the deck to its limits and see how well it can actually draw. That's pretty good. That is, in fact, drawing well. Sharp-Eyed Rookie off the top. Kind of completes the hand. At that point, like, if Sharp-Eyed Rookie was in the hand, that I would have said, like, this would have been keepable. Okay, Esper. We've been seeing a variety of Esper. I haven't seen too many, like, Esper Legends recently, but it very well could be. Cavern Bat. Sharp-Eyed Rookie's out of the equation, although hard-hitting Question might be the better bet, because that instantly takes care of the bat without giving them the life gain. And then we get Sharp-Eyed Rookie back anyways, but it's a tempo play for them, right? They take the Sharp-Eyed Rookie. If we have to use the hard-hitting Question, then we don't get to play the creature, which means Adaptive doesn't get buffed for the turn. Okay. So we could see if they go for the trade. Is that trade worthwhile? Not really. So we fall right into their tempo play, I would say. Get the Sharp-Eyed Rookie back, and then go for the swing. And this way, they're not gaining the one back from the lifelink, too. I think that was fine. Bloated Contaminator was a pretty good draw, too. Could be a second bat. What would they want to take this time around? 3 mana card? If they try to tempo us out, they'd want to take like Contaminator, and then it's a similar concept where now we're falling one turn behind, and yeah, so they do that. Okay, because now if we go Archdruid's Charm, it's just not as good. Not as good at all. Although putting a counter onto Adaptive is pretty good once we get the Proliferate ball rolling with the Contaminator. At that point, we're not going to fall into the trap this time, but I mean, kind of sort of, you can see how they tempoed us out. And with that Adaptive. With the second Oddity in hand, we're rooting for that Forest off the top. We can always try to ramp on the Charm too. I'd say most likely. I don't know. It depends what they do with this bat too. If they keep it back as a blocker, or if they swing. They go for the swing. Or open, we have to anticipate like Wandering Emperors or anything like that. Contaminator off the top. Heck yeah, dude. Let's see if it sticks. We get that clue too, which could be huge against a deck like this. Vigilance on Sharp-Eyed Rookie means that the exile would be on the Adaptive. Still worth a full swing? I think so, because playing around a ghost is never fun, right? Like, the Wandering Emperor might not even be in their hand. It is, in fact, in their hand, and so the exile happens to the Evolving Adaptive, or they could go for the block and then go +1 onto... Okay, never mind. They wouldn't want to do it that way. That made much more sense for the opponent to go for the exile, because the life gain comes in that way, and they still get the plus onto the bat. And then if they don't want to block with the bat, they could swing in. They gain even more life here too. So they also know we have Oddity in hand. They go minus, so we can anticipate a second Wandering Emperor from... Oh! Buffing the board that way, huh? Now they know we have Archdruid's Charm. Oh, a second one. Wow. They double block here. We get the other Bloated Contaminator back. Before they can counter this, they're tapped out right now. We go exile. The fight would be good too. Well, it's not fight, but you guys know what I mean. Like, counter onto Contaminator. Hold on. Thinking. How valuable is this Virtue for them? How valuable is it? They end up trading there, then they won't get extra counters that way. The second Charm in hand. They'd want to trade there. So instead of counter, we would go counter onto Sharp-Eyed Rookie, and then take out the bat this way. No life gain, and then we get a full swing on the ground. And then if they take 8, they're down to 10. If they block, it's just a chump, right? And then they'd have to reestablish a board state with their last 2 cards to buff up with that Virtue. Like, I had to sit back and think, like, how valuable actually is this Virtue? And they decide keeping their guy back to put an extra counter onto it is better than chumping. And so we have the second Archdruid's Dream Charm here. Why do I want to call this Archdruid's Dream? Is that a card too? Like, I've been catching myself this whole time. Oh my goodness, bro. We are officially in danger. Guys, we are officially in... Wait a minute. Hold on. Just 1 second. Like, I was so taken aback by how bad that is for us, but it's only a 5/5. We totally just take that out real quick. Dude, this charm has been sick. No life gain because it's not a fight. A full swing here. Threatens lethal without the block, so they chump the rookie. Dude. I thought this was going to start heavily leaning towards the opponent once they played that, but I completely just missed the fact that our creatures are buff enough to take care of that with the charm. Because, yeah, our creatures have just been growing outrageously. I can't believe how well this is working, guys. Holy cow. They can't flip this without 1 or fewer cards in our hand. Oh. In their hand, too. Activate only if a player has 1 or fewer cards in hand. And then they untap everything. Dude. Feral Encounter off the top because the game wants us to win. That is pretty brutal stuff, man. We miss with the Feral Encounter, but still. So you onto you. They transform, and they can easily transform this back, and it's going to be untapped again. They gain up to 8. They get the chump. This Proliferate has been pretty great here. Back up to 2. Their top deck matters. So does ours. If we can just see a forest, which, by the way, we just shuffled in like 4 forests off the top of the build from the Feral Encounter. Hopefully we're wide enough, but yeah, this... I guess I was right to be concerned about the Deepest Betrayal. Luckily, their flyer doesn't have lifelink, but it's still a big problem. Okay, there we go. Take a breather. They're going back up to 7. We should be wide enough, especially with the trample on the Contaminator. Buffing the adaptive here, too. Yeah, they're going back up to 7. Virtue happened to be... Actually, everything in the deck that the opponent ended up playing was super valuable. So that's 9. So that's still lethal damage there. Was that the most optimized blocks for the opponent? I think so, because the trample was getting through there. Trample on Oddity, yeah, taking out the Oddity was definitely the best. Good game, opponent. Very good game. That bat came down, and I was like, well, it's going to start leaning towards them, like, period. But we had terrific ways to keep it off the board, terrific top decks. The charm has been wonderful, bro. And the fact that our spells that are actually destroying their creatures aren't fight spells has really proven itself, because there's been so many lifelink creatures that we've been able to clean up without them actually gaining any life from it. Guys, I say we just end on a high note, huh? How often is it that we get a 100% win rate video? Not very often. Now, it's only 5 games, so of course more testing required. Well, hold up. Let's go ahead and go over to the build before we talk more about it, huh? What a time, what a time. It's been way too long since I've visited mono green aggro. Here's the deck list again, guys. This totally did a thing, didn't it? Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Okay. 5 matches. That's not a lot of games. More testing required for sure. Like, period, right? Like another 20 games before we know that it's actually solid. That being said, I didn't feel like particularly on the edge of my seat in a lot of those games, right? It kind of just felt like we were overpowering quite effectively and pretty fast too. Did we end up getting a little bit lucky here and there? Maybe. We definitely had some great top decks, but maybe that's also how we put the list together with the curve and everything. The curve is a beautiful one, and it was working out really nicely. 23 lands felt fine. Definitely could have used 24 lands in that last game, right? There were, but we still ended up drawing so well, so we can't even complain that much. Then also, if you really, really need more land, you could always find a land on the Archdruid's Charm at instant speed, and it goes right onto the battlefield tapped too. So instant speed ramp on the opponent's turn, or removal too, right? So this card actually seemed wild. Do we want 4 of these? I don't know, man. Maybe. Like 4 of these drop a feral encounter. There's going to be a lot of moments, though, where 3 mana is still expensive. It's a good thing this is 3 mana, let me tell you. Let me tell you what, man. This would be nuts if it was 2 mana. That would be way too strong. 3 mana is a good cost for this. This seems like a relatively balanced card and something that green kind of needed, huh? This did so much today. The exile target artifact and enchantment was terrific on this too, but just like the counter and then have it deal damage was like, yeah, dude, everything about this was really good, wasn't it? That's why we have to consider 4, but I don't know if we want 4. I think like 3 might actually be a good amount in here. Didn't get to see Loamspeaker too much, but I think in a lot of those games, Loamspeaker would have totally been fine, especially when we were trying to like buff up the Sharp-Eyed Rookies, which also seemed really good to get those clues onto the board. Was kind of wild. The clues actually helped us restock our hand a few times too. 1 mana removal is essential. I think hard hitting question was very good, and the sorcery speed slowed us down a little bit, but it's kind of the same concept as like the Archdruid's Charm, man. It's a good thing this is sorcery speed, because this would just be ridiculous if it was instant speed too. You know what I mean? Adaptive and pack leader were totally fine. I think if you're sweating and you need more removal, I could see dropping down to 3 adaptives, going up a 3rd hard-hitting question. I wouldn't want to mess with the curve outside of that. Like, for example, I wouldn't want to drop a Loamspeaker and go up a hard-hitting question, if that makes sense, right? The Gaia's Gift came into play as a one-of today too, and Cankerbloom even hit the board, but we didn't get to activate its ability at all either, so I do actually like those as one-ofs. Reborn. Okay. And when I went over the deck, I didn't go over the transform on Polukranos Reborn or the transform on Oddity, because like it's very rare to actually get to that point. And as you saw in those 5 victories, we did not get to that point. So yeah. Oh no, we didn't get to see Axebane Ferox today, did we? Darn it. This is one of the new cards that I wanted to actually pull off today. But let's be real, man. Axebane hitting this board at any point. Like in that last game too, if it was an Axebane instead of Oddity, it would have accomplished the exact same thing, except the Death Touch. In that case, if the opponent was surviving the turn, the Death Touch actually would have taken care of their god. Right? So that's actually something to consider. If you got like 3 of these, I could see going up 3 and down to 3 oddities, just for the sake of like playing new cards, because playing new cards is fun. Outside of that, like a good balance of 3 and 3 could actually be pretty good. Could actually come in handy. I do think the trample is going to come in handy more often, though. But also, that being said, right, the ward cost on this too, when there's so much spot removal, maybe it should be 3 and 3. Maybe. Definitely something to consider, right? Okay, guys. A lot of stuff to go over here. What would you guys add or take out? Let me know in the comments. I definitely don't want to push it anywhere into the mid-range, though. We're trying to keep it as aggressive as possible, and it did feel pretty darn aggressive, actually. So, cool stuff, man. Cool stuff. guys, down in the description, we have that Discord link, a great place for the community to just get together, chat it up, talk about deck lists, talk about the new sets, all that fun stuff. You guys always keep the Discord like nice and lively, which I appreciate. So thank you guys. But then also down in the description, we have that Patreon link too, if you're interested in supporting the channel that way. The main reason I would say to join the Patreon is just to have your suggestions prioritized about over anyone else's suggestions, like the comment suggestions and the Discord suggestions all take a backseat to the Patreon. Although I do try to get around to all of them, though. I do my dandiest. I do fall behind sometimes, though, especially with the comment ones. Okay, guys. Hey, enough rambling, huh? Well, first of all, if you made it this far into the video, y'all are champions if I didn't say that yet. And I will see you in the next video.